microphone. The presentation starts.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. So, green hydrogen. So first of all, you people have to become greener, and it's a science slam, so you can laugh and you can clap also, so if you feel it. So maybe if you don't mind, we can make a selfie, because it will make you smile. So, are you ready for the selfie? So, here we go. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So, green hydrogen. Why do we need green hydrogen? Because of global warming. Human activities are creating a lot of pollution, and we need green hydrogen to reduce CO2 emissions and pollution. And but there are so many people that do not believe that it's true, that global warming is true. So what should be done to make people believe? Well, there is Twitter, social media, Elon Musk, and the good earth has to put a selfie maybe on Twitter, then the people will believe that it's really global warming. The level of the sea is rising, which is making the fish so happy that they have dining opportunities of eating human beings. So, but this is raising also the people who believe the global warming, this is raising their sugar level because they are afraid of it, but there are also people who deny it. They say, we don't believe it, they need proof. They need proof of global warming. We live in a scientific world, seeing is believing. So, what is the proof of global warming? So, are clothes getting shorter, do you think, is it the proof of global warming? Not really. So the people who deny global warming denier, they say if there is global warming, then there will be endless summer and they can have endless summer parties. But that's not the case. These people say instead of making Santa on winter, also on Easter they can make Easter rabbits on Easter season, which is not. And also the Easter eggs are fine lying on snow. And then just last year, in US, there was like a catastrophic winter storm, and then there was 106 casualty and 113 billion US dollar loss. Flights were cancelled, driving was banned because of climate change. So my dear friend, climate change is real, it's real for all of the USA, not only USA but also the rest of the world. And then that's the reason we need green hydrogen, because it can reduce pollution and we can control the climate change. And when the Bundeskanzler, the federal chancellor of Germany, heard this, he was so happy and excited that he started doing world tours. He went to South America to get this green hydrogen, he went to Australia, to Canada, and he's going everywhere. And that hydrogen is so attractive for him that it has become like his favorite drink. And as Canada asking him, what do you like to drink? And then Bundeskanzler is saying, can I have some more of it to drink? So how the story of hydrogen started? So it all started with the discovery of air. Air is like a gas, and then the Greek, they were the one who discovered air. And then they find out there is something called air. The good earth is composed of air, fire, water, and earth. And then the Greeks said that there is something called air, but they don't know more about it. But people were curious, there is something more in the air. It's not just air. There is something more. And then they find out love is in the air. Not just in air, but in addition to these things. But my dear friend, not just love, there are also diseases in the air. And this was a theory, air miasmatic theory. It was like aerosol of a region is contaminated, and this is creating diseases. And people were so fashionable that they used to wear this kind of fancy mask before in this pastime. But then come the Robert Koch. You have heard of Robert Koch Institute in Germany. I thought he was a cook, but actually he was a scientist. And then he was the one who discovered the germ theory. And then now we believe. So the air was discovered that there is some gaseous entity in air, and then people were able to capture these gaseous entities in cylinders. They make some chemical reactions, they produce some airs. And then, so similarly, hydrogen was discovered in this way. And then they were so happy that they could capture air, then they started making science parties. And then they started publishing paper, but they don't know the name of the airs. They were just calling it factitious air in the past, which mean artificial, known real and synthetic. So, and then also they saw that how these chemical reactions are producing. For example, if it's produced from metal acid reaction, they started calling it metal acid reaction gas. Then they saw that it's flammable, it can catch fire. So then they started calling it inflammable gas. And then afterward they know that it can produce water when it is burned with oxygen. Then they start calling it water forming gas, from where the name Hydra from the Greek came. So then this green hydrogen, hydrogen is very naughty, like a child. It's changing its color like chameleon. So, but it itself is colorless, as we have learned from school, but its production is very colorful. We can produce it from different ways, from coal, fossil fuels, natural gas. If we produce it from coal, then it's like gray hydrogen. And if we produce it with the methane gas, but we capture the CO2, then it's blue hydrogen. And if from nuclear sources, it's pink hydrogen, and so on and on. But if you want to produce hydrogen from coal, you have to learn first the formula of coal, which as a child was difficult for me. So coal has this formula, and it has a lot of hydrogen. 145 atoms of hydrogen are there. But can we produce all of this hydrogen from the coal? But this is not actually the case. We produce a lot of hydrochlorofluorocarbons and hydrofluorocarbons, which are also pollution and causing global warming and climate change. And we can also see the formula is also very difficult for them. And we need something simple. And the simple thing, that is water. We can produce a lot of hydrogen from water by simple electrolysis. And if we do it from renewable sources, we don't create any pollution. And then it's called green hydrogen. So whenever I will say hydrogen, you will say green hydrogen. Hydrogen?
Green hydrogen.
Hydrogen?
Green hydrogen.
Okay, now whenever I will say hydrogen, you will say green hydrogen, okay? So, because we need this green hydrogen, because we don't want to get this other hydrogen, it's causing a lot of pollution. So we need this hydrogen. We need this hydrogen?
Green hydrogen.
You have to say green hydrogen, okay? And then, but there is a formula now. The Canadian president has a formula how only green hydrogen will be produced in the future. Well, and then his formula is that I told them text can protect the weather change. And then there is now, you know that there is carbon tax put on the production of hydrogen if it's produced. And in Germany, if it is produced from carbon emission sources, there is €30 tax for every ton of hydrogen. And then also, like, people think that carbon taxes will discourage hydrogen production, but does work income tax discourage work? Not really. So carbon tax is not really the solution also. We have to improve the technology of electrolysis. It seems simple, but it's not also that simple. We scientists at Max Planck Institute, we are working and doing research to improve this process of electrolysis. But what do you need for electrolysis? You need water, but you have to take the frog out of the water first. And then what can you do? You need this frog, not only water, you need this frog. And then this guy called Luigi Galvani, he discovered electricity. Do you people know who discovered electricity in this world we use today in a lot of appliances? So this was discovered by Luigi Galvani. And this guy discovered it from a frog. So he took a frog leg and then he took two metals, different metals, and then he just touched the frog leg and it started jumping and dancing. You can see this here. And then he discovered that there is current here. And then there was some other guy, Alessandro Volta, and then this guy discovered same electricity with the zinc and copper plates from non-organic sources. But then there was a fight between these two people. This Galvani and Volta, they were saying that it's only from biological and non-biological. And then they come
Tesla.
Nicholas and Anthony. Then they said we don't care where it's coming from. We just take this current source and produce hydrogen from it. This was the discovery how hydrogen was discovered. They took water and then they took some little bit of energy, electricity, and then they can produce hydrogen. Hydrogen.
Green hydrogen.
Green hydrogen. They can produce from renewable sources green hydrogen. And now, today in this world, scientists have improved this electrolysis process too much. We have three different types of electrolyzers. One is alkaline, polymer exchange membrane, and solid oxide electrolyzers. But it's still also sometimes challenging because the gas permeation is low, overpotential is high, and it also degrades. So we need durability. So we scientists at Max Planck are also working to improve this technology. And with this hydrogen,
Green hydrogen.
green hydrogen in the future, we can do a lot of things. We can power electricity for countries. We can improve the steel production technology by reducing also pollution. So that's the reason that the Federal Chancellor of Germany is very crazy for it, and he's going and he's saying, I would like to have and drink some more of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Harun, for this not only very exciting but also very entertaining presentation of green hydrogen. And we learned hydrogen should not be blue, should not be violet, should not be gray, it should be green. Only green hydrogen is the real, true hydrogen which helps us to save the world. So thank you. We will kiss that frog. Thank you, Harun, for this very, very good demonstration. So, the applausometer.
Harun! Harun!
So you catch the audience. That was very good. It's not of his t-shirt, no. Next time he will wear a green, hydrogen green t-shirt. So thank you again. So now we have another slot.
Noel is going to perform his next song for us.